Hi, my name is Denise Lonis, and I want to thank you for joining me for another edition of the Zebra Report. In this edition, we're going to feature the 7 deadly sins of branding. We're also going to talk about instant image gallery, where in the world is Denise Lonis, and Ask Denise. The 7 deadly sins of branding and how to avoid them. Well, you know it, you've seen it, you feel it. When you see great marketing, great branding, you just know it. It makes you think that you want to possibly do business with that company or that person if, in essence, you need that kind of product. Bad marketing is the same way. You may drive by a restaurant. You may look at their sign. You may look at the way they present themselves. That's their brand. That's their image. And you may say, I don't want to eat dinner there. Those are the effects of both good and bad branding. Rarely in real estate do you see an agent whose branding is so unique, so different, that it stands out above the rest. That memorable brand clearly articulates who the agent is, what the agent specializes in, and the level at which they do it. It also will motivate you as a consumer to want to work with that agent. Branding is one of the areas of an agent's business where most agents fail miserably. Some aren't even aware of the power of branding at all. Most believe they can cut corners on this important part of their business. Many of them feel they can hire a friend or a family member or a student perhaps to do their marketing. But if that friend or family member or student does not have both incredible graphic design skills and marketing skills, the branding will fall short. Because branding isn't just about creating something visually pretty. It's about creating something that has a marketing message. That is critically important. Also, the entire philosophy surrounding branding is one of creating visual images which not only grab the potential client's attention, but also transmit to the world everything about you, who you are, what your business is all about, and what you represent. Doing this successfully involves a whole lot more than just putting together a few pretty pictures. You have to ask yourself some very important questions when you're branding. Things like, who am I trying to connect with? What look and feel best matches the services I perform? What message matches my target audience, both in terms of design and content? I've seen many, many branding disasters. Here are the top 7 branding sins or mistakes I see agents make over and over again. Mistake number 1, not branding for a target market. The most important part of branding is defining your target market. Not all real estate buyers or sellers are the same. You are much better off selecting a segment of people and serving them rather than trying to please everybody with a more generic brand. You will have more success marketing to a smaller target market than you will to the world at large. Don't agree with me? That's okay. Think about this, though. Think about great marketing. Pepsi and Coca-Cola have targeted the youth market since their beginnings. You don't see many Coke ads made for retirees. They match their branding to their market. They understand who their market is, and they create design and messages aimed specifically at them. On the flip side, Wall Street investment firms do not make ads with the Jonas Brothers, and they don't buy TV spots during American Idol. They target older investors with ads that appear during Sunday morning political talk shows. Who is your target market? Do you even have one? Or have you decided that you're going to help anyone, no matter who they are? If this describes you, then maybe it's time to specialize. You're much better off serving a niche audience with their peculiar habits and likes. Make sure the brand you develop will speak to your target market. Mistake number 2, not considering branding an investment. Most agents consider branding an expense, not an investment. Make no mistake about it, branding is an absolute necessity and a great investment. Yes, it does cost money to create superb materials. Yes, you do need to take time to get it right. And yes, you need to do it now. Not someday, but you need to do it now. The important thing about branding is that if you get it right, it pays you huge dividends. The only way to make money in real estate is to capture leads. And the way you capture leads is by having people be attracted to you, your message, the type of business that you do. So it's really, really important to invest in your marketing. Mistake number 3, choosing branding based solely on what you like. You can't choose branding or a visual brand based only on the things that you like. You have to consider your target market. Mistake number 4, going overboard. Too much everything and too little focus. Too many colors, too many words, too many graphics. This is going in the opposite extreme. I've seen agents who decide, well, if I'm going to do branding, then I'm going to go all out. Unfortunately, this thinking creates lavish materials that are overdone and don't ultimately connect with the target market. Mistake number 5, creating a logo and thinking you've created a brand. Some agents create a logo and say, I'm done. Sorry, but you've hardly begun. A logo is not a brand. A logo is just an element of a brand. And it's not even a necessary element. When you're creating a brand, there are many elements that must work cohesively to create a complete picture. There are companies out there that have created their branding and haven't even included a logo. But everything else about their brand creates their marketing message. Mistake number 6, not testing a brand. If you're deciding between two distinct brands, then it's important to split your database into two lists. Send a mailer using one brand to the first list, then send a mailer using the other brand to the other list. Determine which one resonates more with your database based on response. Who responded? Who didn't? The direct response advertising industry is famous for taking this to the extreme. They're constantly sending out different versions of the same direct mail campaign to segments of their database to test response. Whichever one pulls the most orders is the one they eventually mail to the entire list. This process isn't just for big direct mailers. It also works on our level. Test, 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 and test some more. When you do, you may be surprised at what works. It's often the opposite of what you would expect. The bottom line is that you may want more clients. The bottom line is you need to pick branding that pulls in the biggest numbers, period. Mistake number 7, not hiring a professional. Why do so few agents have stellar branding? The answer is simple. Very few agents will invest the resources needed to hire experienced professionals to develop their brand. There are lots of graphic artists and branding companies out there. But branding a product is much different than branding services. Real estate is a service and must be branded by someone who understands this market. Not only that, but every person in real estate is different. So not only should this company understand real estate, services, they also have to understand you. And unless that company does an in-depth analysis first of who you are and what your marketing message needs to be, all you're going to get is average branding. That's where my company comes in. We live and breathe branding and matching branding for you. So if you're interested in branding and you want to know more about it, get in touch with us. You can do that 2 ways. You can go to our website, www.thelonusgroup.com, or feel free to send me an email, denise@thelonusgroup.com. Let's talk about Instant Image. The Instant Image Gallery is a great new product that we've added, and it's a great way for agents to get branding when they just don't have the time or money to have a custom brand. As you have read in this week's Zebra Report and have heard me talking about in this week's Zebra Report, the time to brand is now. Whether you are a brand new agent or whether you have years of experience, it's really important to brand your business. And if you're watching your pennies or you need branding right now, then Instant Image is the product for you. Get in touch with our company to find out more about it. Where in the world is Denise Lonas? Well, upcoming September 23rd, I will be teaching Making Money with Today's Technology for the Whidbey Island Association of Realtors. September 28th and 29th, I will be teaching my brand new class titled The Power of Three, and that will be for the great, exciting Windermere Symposium at the McCaw Hall in Seattle. Ask Denise. You know, I get a lot of questions about online lead generation and whether it works or doesn't work. And the question I had this week was, Denise, why is my online lead generation faltering? You know, online lead generation is nothing more than putting your name, your business, and your services out there online, hoping that people are interested. There are 2 reasons online lead generation doesn't work. Number 1, you don't have a website that is search engine optimized and includes content that is compelling to consumers. If you have a template site, you don't have a site that will generate business for you, period. So the key when you are thinking about getting into an online lead generation campaign is you need to have a custom website to back that up. And number 2, you have a search engine optimized website which brings you leads, but those leads never pan out. If this is the case, you have a follow-up problem, not a lead generation problem. Online lead generation is absolutely useless if you do not have an automated online follow-up system. If you're not getting results from your online lead generation, it's probably because you don't have both a lead generation element and an effective follow-up system. And I see this all the time. I see agents who've got a custom website. They have a great website, but when they start to get leads, they don't have a really good way of following up with those leads. So once again, thank you for joining me for this week's edition of the Zebra Report, and I look forward to talking with you again very soon.